Everyone knows the iconic Halloween moments from the classic years of The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror, but since the series now has more Halloween episodes than there are days in October, there are plenty of other modern Treehouse episodes that are also worth checking out. So, here they are. The top 5 HD-era Simpsons Halloween episodes. Number 5, Treehouse of Horror 20. This was the first Treehouse of Horror after the show switched to HD in 2009, and they actually did a decent job rising to the occasion. The best segment of the bunch was an action-packed zombie story, which felt like an updated version of Treehouse of Horror 3's classic zombie segment.
I can't shoot her. She's Lisa's godmother.
You can apologize in hell.
I guess I could.
There's also a fun black and white Hitchcock parody, with a bunch of clever allusions to Alfred Hitchcock's films, including Dial M for Murder, North by Northwest, Spellbound, Psycho, and Strangers on a Train.
Crisscross.
And then there's the kind of bizarre finale with Homer, Marge, and Moe putting on a gruesome stage musical parody of Sweeney Todd. It's the weakest segment of the three, but you can at least applaud them for trying something a little different. Number 4, Treehouse of Horror 31. This episode features a delightfully dark parody of Toy Story, where Bart's toys take revenge on him for years of abuse. It's a surprisingly twisted tale, but with lots of funny jokes and really stellar animation. There's also a parody of Into the Spider-Verse with a bunch of alternate reality versions of Homer, including a very fabulous Disney princess Homer, and a parody of Russian Doll, where Lisa and Nelson keep getting killed over and over as Lisa tries to celebrate her 9th birthday, which was a clever way to play with the fact that The Simpsons never age. Plus, this episode was guest written by one of my favorite podcasters, Julia Prescott, co-host of Round Springfield.
There was a part of me that was like, this is just a job, this is just a job, this is just a job, and then like I would be writing and then it'd be like, and then Homer says, and I'd be like, what? Homer is saying something.
It's written with a level of love and care that you can tell the writer is a longtime fan of the show.
You're in on this too? They've got Puppy Goo-Goo!
They don't have me. I ran away, loser.
Number 3, Treehouse of Horror 28. This episode has a special place in my heart for its middle segment, Cora Lisa. Obviously, it's a parody of Coraline, where Lisa follows Snowball 2 into a claymation world where her family is perfect, with the one drawback of everyone having buttons sewn to their eyes. The animation is great, and they even got Coraline author Neil Gaiman to provide the voice of the talking cat.
For centuries, the cat has been the symbol of intelligence, the other world, savoir-faire. Oh, shiny! Oh, there it is!
This episode also features a genuinely creepy Exorcist parody, and a genuinely disturbing tale about Homer becoming a self-eating cannibal. If you get grossed out by body horror, like I kinda do, you might not love that final segment, but honestly, if I can survive that one, so can you. And they never go too overboard with like the gruesomeness. And honestly, it just seems like the natural escalation of Homer's character. Eventually, he was gonna have to eat himself. And at least they saved it for a Treehouse of Horror. Number 2, Treehouse of Horror 25. This episode features a great original story about Bart going to school in hell, where a two-headed demon monster version of Principal Skinner and Superintendent Chalmers is in charge.
In him!
Next, there's a weirdly hilarious parody of A Clockwork Orange that doesn't really feel like a Halloween story, but it's funny enough that it works anyway, especially in the end when it devolves into a bizarre mishmash of all of Stanley Kubrick's movies. And finally, my favorite segment of the bunch, where the Simpsons are haunted by ghosts of their former selves, animated the way the family used to look when they were merely quick cartoon shorts on the Tracy Ullman Show. It's a very clever way for the HD-era Simpsons to confront its legendary past. And finally, number 1, Halloween of Horror. That's right, the best Halloween episode in the past decade wasn't even a Treehouse of Horror. In season 27, the show did its first ever Halloween special that wasn't a non-canon horror trilogy.
Are you heading up to the treehouse to tell 3 horrifying tales?
We're doing it next week.
Instead, they did a funny, heartfelt, and genuinely chilling regular episode about Homer being incredibly excited to decorate the house and celebrate Halloween, only for Lisa to get traumatized at a horror theme park. This leads Homer to sadly cancel his Halloween festivities until things go awry and their home is invaded by crooks from a Halloween store that Homer pissed off.
Wait, why are we going to Mr. Flanders' house?
I don't know, to see his kids. I want to finally find out which one is Rod and which one is Max.
It's an excellent story with great character writing and a funny, heartfelt ending. And it's the first Halloween episode the show has done since the very early years that really gets the special feeling of Halloween. You can almost feel the chilly autumn air, or smell the plasticky vinyl of Homer's Halloween decorations.
The gravestones could be a little more crooked.
Plus, there's even a musical parody of one of my favorite spooky movies.
It's naked, wasted, grown-up Halloween.
Honorable mention, Thanksgiving of Horror. If you feel cheated by the fact that the #1 item on this Halloween list isn't actually a Treehouse of Horror, here's a bonus one for you. In season 31, in addition to their usual Halloween trilogy, the show also had a Thanksgiving trilogy of terror, and as bizarre as that sounds, it's honestly better and scarier than most Treehouse of Horrors they've done in the past 15 years. It's got a Black Mirror parody with Marge cooking Thanksgiving dinner with that creepy AI thing from the John Hamm episode. It's got The Simpsons as turkeys, and it's got a freaky first Thanksgiving in space sci-fi horror show that would feel just as appropriate to watch on Thanksgiving as it would on Halloween. Honorable mention 2, the Guillermo del Toro couch gag. While Treehouse of Horror 24 was otherwise not one of the very best, this list would be incomplete without including that episode's incredible opening sequence, which was directed by guest director Guillermo del Toro. It's a fantastic mashup of The Simpsons' iconic intro, dozens of classic horror characters, and countless references to del Toro's films. It's animated by the show's usual crew, and it's among the most stellar pieces of animation in the show's history. It serves as a reminder that even in some of the weaker Treehouse of Horrors, the show's animators are always at the top of their game for Halloween. So what did I miss? Did I leave out your favorite HD-era Halloween episode? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe for more videos about our favorite spooky family.